welcome back to another episode of Your Fucking Welcome. Today, I wanted to quickly talk to you a little bit about confidence and I guess security a little bit as well. And the reason for that is I was having a really good conversation with one of my clients yesterday. And what came up is something that I feel like all of us need to hear and embrace on a massive level and in really every area of our lives, truly. And so, in a nutshell, we were talking about a client that she has and a client situation that has come up for her a couple different times. And similarly, we were talking about how so often it can be so easy to feel as though we have to be in our inbox, we have to be responding to people. And both of those things are coming from this place so often where we don't want a client or a potential client to walk away, right? We feel scared that somebody is going to, close the contract or, decide not to work with us. And it's coming from such a place of lack and scarcity. While at the same time, of course, it can feel like when somebody is coming your way and wants to pay you or somebody is paying you, we don't want to necessarily lose that, right? Especially if you are somebody who I feel like most of us are. We are people who started our businesses with not a whole lot. We're self-made, and it's not as though we started with, 6 figures in the bank and we didn't have anything to worry about. Like, it's been this thing where it's been built little by little, and we've had those moments where we've struggled a little bit financially. And so the idea of, again, getting rid of a client or not responding and possibly losing, quote unquote, a potential client, it's not abnormal that feels scary. And that's not abnormal that it takes some time and energy to kind of get more comfortable with. But the conversation that we were having was around how, the worst case scenario, if she didn't answer this particular person right away, the worst case scenario was they would decide not to be her client, and that's it. And, she reflected on the fact, or kind of spoke to the fact that okay, and especially she's good because of the money that she has in the bank, the money her company's been making. And this month is her first 70K plus month. And so especially for that reason, it's not as though losing, again, quote unquote, that one potential client would actually hurt her all that much. And that was absolutely true. And that was absolutely right. And I would be completely lying to you if I acted as though the money in the bank doesn't have an impact on the feeling of security and the feeling of freedom. If I have $0 in my bank account, it's not shocking, of course, that I'm going to be able to be a little bit ballsier and a little bit riskier when I have multiple 6 figures in the bank, and it doesn't feel as scary to lose that potential client, whatever it is. But what I think is really important for you to understand and make it your goal to understand is that core confidence, you having actual real confidence in yourself, is about you feeling good about things that cannot change, right? So I want all of you to hear me when I say that I understand feeling like we have to get to this weight and then we'll be confident, or we'll have this number of, dollars in the bank account and then we'll be confident to be able to do whatever we want. And again, I'm not going to lie and act as though there's not, realness to that. When we reach a certain thing and we have a certain amount of padding, if you will, right? Of course, it lends itself to being a little bit braver. While at the same time, again, the goal is for you to feel confident now, for you to feel secure now, for you right now to know what you bring to the table when it comes to that potential client, that potential date, whatever it is. You know what you bring to the table and what makes you so wonderful. You know how worthy you are, how smart you are, how funny you are, how wonderful in all the ways that you are, and you can trust that somebody can see it. And if they don't, it's not for you to force them to understand. It's not for you to convince them. So again, if we're looking back at this client situation, her ideal client, if her ideal client reaches out to her, or a client in general reaches out to her, and again, my client specifically has done so many wonderful things, has been doing this for a long time, really prides herself on doing doing work from this place of excellence, right? Really caring about her clients. People would be so incredibly lucky to work with my client. And so if she knows all of those things, that potential client can reach out to her and maybe she doesn't answer her in 5 hours, 12 hours, where somebody who walks away because of that, we can probably be like, okay, thank you for walking away, because who wants to deal with somebody that's unreasonable? But also she knows, because of her skills and what she's done and what she's accomplished and who she is, right? She knows that that next client is right around the corner, is 5 seconds away. If you go on a date with somebody, right, and they don't like you, they reject you, however you want to say that, of course it might sting for a moment. While at the same time, when you know who you are, you also know that the next date is 2 swipes away. And it was never about that person. It was never about that potential client. Again, I want to say this so clearly because I don't know if you feel this way, but I have definitely felt this way, where I feel like so many of the people that I have listened to or learned from, and this is not like to make them wrong, but I definitely feel like I can hear from some people who really kind of share this stuff and teach this stuff and are coming from this place of making you feel as though they never have moments, let's just say with confidence, and they never have, again, those kind of like micro situations where they doubt themselves. And so then you can kind of make yourself feel wrong for not feeling at the top of your game 24 hours a day. And so I say that because I want to be so clear as I speak to you here that God knows I do not feel like that 24 hours a day. God knows that I do not feel like that all the time in any aspect of my life, whether it's business or whether it's personal life, right? I don't. But I do know that it's what I'm always striving for. I do know that it's always something that I'm trying to remind myself of. And so while I might not always be perfect, not even close to perfect, I know where I want to go and I know who I want to be. And so I make it a practice to keep remembering and keep remembering and keep remembering who the fuck I am. And again, how much I bring to the table in any aspect, life or business. And that the person that comes into my world in whatever way, I trust that they can see that, or I trust that if they don't see it, somebody that can is right around the corner. And so I want you to just catch yourself in this place where you are confident, but maybe you're confident about, again, the things that can change. Because if you are feeling like you are tying all of your worth right now to the money in the bank, and then God forbid something were to happen, that really rocks you. I want you to know that you're worthy simply because you are. I want you to be confident because of who you are inside and who you are at your core, versus feeling as though you're allowed to be confident because of certain situations or certain aspects of your life or certain things that you've accomplished, right? Certain attributes. You just are. You are worthy because you are. And I just, again, want you in any situation, client situation, dating situation, any of it, I want you to know that. I want you to make it a practice to remember that. And I want you to make it a goal, essentially, to go deeper and deeper into your knowing of it, because you deserve that, right? You deserve that in any situation, for you to be able to walk into it and know that somebody is lucky to hire you, lucky to be on a date with you, lucky to have you in their world, because it's the truth. It is the truth. And of course, there's nothing wrong with, for all of us, growing, right? We're always intentionally growing and we're always intentionally bettering ourselves, but you also don't need to fix yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. There's nothing for you to fix fundamentally. You can just grow and get better each and every day. And when you remember that, again, that allows you to obtain that core confidence. And I just want that for you. I want that so much for you. And I want you to know that it's accessible. Even if it feels a little bit far away now, make it your goal to access it a little bit more each and every day. Okay? I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye.